Beautiful.
All good?
Oh, you're good.
Alright, impacts of cities in the United States. After the Civil War, the years of industrial expansion brought great changes to American society. America's urban population and cities' populations grew, and the size of cities did too. In 1870, there were only 2 American cities with a population over 500,000, which was Philadelphia and New York. And by 1900, there were 6, and 3 of these were New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia, which had over 1 million inhabitants. Immigration, Chicago was why didn't it change?
Good. But what are your photos of?
Press like
Oh.
the next.
That's downtown Chicago, and the bottom one is New York.
Okay. Yeah. So be sure to on this. Be sure to explain what your visuals are.
Alright, well,
Okay.
right there it is. So that's Ellis Island in New York, and this is Chicago. Chicago's newcomers had firstly come from mainly Germany, the British Isles, and Scandinavia. But in 1890, the Polish, Italians, Czechs, Hungarians, Lithuanians, and others from Southern and Eastern Europe made up the majority of immigrants. And like many American cities, Chicago had nearly 80% of foreign-born children made up the population.
80%?
Yeah,
Wow.
80% of their immigrants. Transportation. The steam ferry was successfully commercialized by Robert Fulton and allowed faster journeys on water, and it allowed trade to happen quicker along water. And in most cities, electric trolleys were powered by overhead wires and got passengers wherever they needed to go. And this was a time before cars, so they had railroads and trolleys, and boats were the main transportation. Skyscrapers were a big part of cities. The first 10-story building wasn't really considered a skyscraper, but it was in Chicago. And then Louis Sullivan came around, and he made the first structure that was called a form-follow structure, which was made out of steel, and it was a steel high-rise. And the skyscraper was a way to get more employees into the same building. And this is the home insurance building in Chicago, and that was considered the first skyscraper. Yeah, and that's Louis Sullivan and his home insurance building that he designed. And this is a map of the business district of Chicago, and this is State Street in Chicago. And in 1850, Chicago had a population of 30,000, but in 20 years it grew to 300,000. And a big thing that happened in Chicago in 1871 was the fire that leveled 3.5 square miles and left 1/3 of Chicago's residents homeless. And they really had to rebuild and repopulate and all that. And by the 20th century, the city was home to 1.7 million, and Chicago's growth mirrored the national trends. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Can you turn off the camera for me? Turn off the recording part.
Is it the red one?
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah.
it the? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.